ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהכל נהיה בדברו. A great tragedy happened many years ago, according to Jewish tradition. 24,000 of students, disciples of Rabbi Akiva, who was a giant in Mishnaic times of the oral law, one of the most prominent teachers in Jewish tradition. 24,000 of his students perished. It was some kind of illness, terrible thing. And this is a period of mourning for the Jewish people. That was between Passover and Shavuot, Pesach and Shavuot. It is called the counting of the Omer, and it is a period of sadness in Jewish tradition, except on the 33rd day, which is called Lag BaOmer. Somehow the pestilence or whatever was causing their death stopped and nobody died that day. But it was 24,000 that dies. Of course, our tradition wants to investigate, why did they die? There must be a reason for it. It's not just illness. What did they do morally wrong to merit such a death, such a sentence that 24,000 of them died? The answer is that they did not behave with the proper respect. They didn't honor each other, the students, and that's why they perished. Now, that doesn't seem right. If you do not honor somebody, you don't respect him enough, then you merit a death sentence. You know, there is a law in the Torah that says an eye for an eye. According to many people, it's very cruel. Even though it was never practiced as such, there was some kind of monetary compensation for the eye. But the idea is very correct. It's very just. In other words, the punishment depends upon the error, the mistake. What did you do? What did you do that causes you to receive such a punishment? It must be proportionate to what you're doing. You know the story of the boy whose arm was cut off because he stole. You read Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I think I mentioned it already. Many years ago, I saw a short video where you saw a little boy, a Muslim boy, with his arm extended on the road and a truck crossing over his arm with its tires to break his arm. Why? Because he stole. This is the law of the Quran. I don't think that's the law of the Quran. That is probably a misinterpretation of the Quran. How can you mete out such a punishment for stealing something? So we go back to our question. How is it that because of lack of respect, these students of Rabbi Akiva died? But let us think for a moment, you know. According to our tradition, actually all of creation was for the purpose so man should be created and he should establish a relationship with God. God created man and he blew into his nostrils something. We believe a soul. There is an image of God. We are all created in the image of God. So when you do not respect, you don't appreciate somebody else, in a sense you're also negating that he was created in the image of God. Each and every one of us has a certain amount of sanctity, value. You know, I think this is very pertinent in most human relationships, especially in marriage. You have to appreciate the other one. You have to respect your partner. You have to appreciate his qualities because he has God's imprint on his face. He is one of God's creatures. Don't try to change him. Don't try to better him. Appreciate what he has. If he has a fault, maybe you can call his attention sometimes, but appreciate his good virtues. Treat him as an individual, as a creation of God. It says in the Bible that Jacob was about to meet Esau, his brother, who for 20 years they had not seen each other for 20 years. And he was afraid of his brother. His brother actually felt that Jacob had wronged him. And he wanted to take vengeance. He came with 400 people. It was certainly a scenario of war. And it says that when Jacob approached Esau and he saw his face, It says in the Bible, it was as if I've seen the face of God. Even though he knew that Esau was full of enmity toward him, he also appreciated that Esau's a human being, that Esau was also created in the image of God. So I think we should treat people but what they are, not what they should be, what they can become. You know, many populists, many politicians know how to do it. Other people want you to better yourself, educate yourself. You'll be richer. You will be more comfortable. But they fail to appreciate the way you are. So many populists speak to the people and say, I love you the way you are. I want to relate to you the way you are. Eventually, I'll try to help you. But in the meantime, I appreciate what you are. So let us bear in mind that in human relationships, it is very important to appreciate what the other person is. The greatest criminal also had a mother who loved him, who saw some good in him. So therefore, let us not be so harsh. When you judge somebody, when you meet somebody, try to look into his good points. Appreciate who he is. If you're a spouse, don't try to change the other partner. Appreciate what he is. And I think you're going to enjoy life much more.